Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Jason and Marisa. So, sorry, I'm just flipping over to all the right tabs so I can see the chat. There we go. All right. So today we're gonna make Chance the Dev biscuits again, which we made those a few episodes back. They were amazing. Chance was here to help, and so we learned a whole bunch. They came out great. And then we had an idea toward the end of that stream where we could take those biscuits and make breakfast sandwiches out of them. Because, like, I make a really good breakfast sandwich. Like, I mean, this is going to be famous last words, like me making this claim, but I make a really good breakfast sandwich, and those biscuits are killer. So the breakfast sandwich that I like on top of these biscuits, I think is going to be really outstanding. So that's our goal today. So I'm going to start by preheating the oven to 400. I'm realizing I should have cleared this area a little bit.
I can help. What do you mean?
You take that, and then I'll take this. Let's get these out of the way. What's up? Oh. Okay. Thank you. This kitchen was a big factor in our decision to buy this house. We were kind of looking around at different places and trying to decide what we wanted, and what we kept figuring was like, the thing that matters the most to us, outside of being able to work, so we needed offices, but outside of being able to work, the thing that matters the most to us is food. And so before the quarantine, one of the ways that we would spend time with people, like the most common way for us to spend time with people, was to do it through cooking. And that's kind of why we're doing these streams at all, is because it's fun for us to cook with people. And having a group of people around while we cook, even though we can't hang out in person, it's just nice, you know? Do you need help with that? Do you know that?
Well, I'm just making my own.
Okay. Okay, so.
Do you want me to do your coffee? Or?
Yeah, do like 85 grams of cream and then the rest of the coffee. Okay, so I'm gonna start putting this together. We have all of the things that we need. We're gonna need some flour, we're gonna need some baking soda, we're gonna need some baking powder. We also need some salt. We need butter. The butter's still in the fridge because we're not there yet. And then we need buttermilk here. So I preheated the oven for...
How much cream?
Huh?
How much?
Like 85, it doesn't, you know, 85-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to put my bowl for the dry ingredients. Look, Chris, good to see it. Into the freezer for a minute, because that was a good tip last time. Maybe I'm not.
Do you want to take that thing out
I don't know that there's enough room for this in here, actually.
at all?
No. It's okay. We'll put it in the... No, we're not. You know what? It's going to be fine. We're going to hope for the best, yo. I bought Chicago-style pizza from Illuminati's, and our freezer is full of it now. So all right. So I need to get a little plate so that I can put the butter together. So we're going to take this plate and just set this over here for now.
You need my help?
Yeah, will you get a stick of butter out, please?
You're ready for that already?
Well, I'm going to cut it up and then we're going to put it back in the fridge.
Okay.
Thank you. Alright. So, this is a stick of butter is 8 tablespoons. I need 7 of these, so I'm just going to cut 1 tablespoon off. Stick that over on our butter dish. And then,
Your coffee's behind you too.
thank you. Did y'all know it was Marissa's birthday yesterday?
Please stop saying that.
Let's see. So now we've got butter. So I'm just gonna chunk it up into like half tablespoon size chunks.
We put all the dry ingredients in at once, right?
All dry ingredients into a large bowl.
Okay, I'm gonna measure out the flour.
Okay, 2 cups.
Yep, I know. Ugh.
Okay, so we've got our
Oh, I hope that's dry. Oh no, too late.
half tablespoons.
Our butter, our cup, measuring cup is filled with now solidified melted butter, so.
So you know we're making do with the tools we have.
Yeah. We didn't plan very well today.
We like woke up. We were actually thinking that we wouldn't do this for a couple reasons. Yesterday was Marisa's birthday, so we were kind of thinking maybe we'll just take a slow weekend in with no computers or anything like that. And then we ended up doing a whole bunch of home improvement projects, which was actually
What?
kind of fun. We did
A whole bunch?
a whole bunch.
One?
We did like 3 things.
No. We did one thing.
Oh, okay.
What were the 3 things?
You
Did
cleaned out
you
the
do
whole,
other things?
You cleaned out the whole basement. We cleaned out the entire.
I cleaned the basement.
I said you cleaned out the entire basement. I cleaned out the whole kitchen. Did like a whole.
You did?
Yeah, you got all that. It was messy in here.
Okay.
And then we also fixed our sink, which I did not think we were capable of, but we managed to pull it off.
Well, it was leaking slightly, like very slightly dripping under the sink. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just need that for the buttermilk if you want to wipe that out real quick.
And so the sink was slightly leaking, and I thought, that's okay, I can fix it. Famous last words there. And so I tried to tighten it because it just looked like the joint needed to be tightened, and it was like slightly leaking out of a seal that wasn't perfect. So anyway, I tightened it, turned the water back on, and it proceeded to spray me in the face.
It was,
Which was
very
really
much like
bad.
a cartoon.
And I was like, oh, that's worse, that's way, way worse. And then I was very upset because I was like, well, if I can't fix it, this is going to be terrible. If I can't, I know you already know, if I can't fix it, I don't know that Jason's going to be able to fix it.
Did you already put these in?
No, I didn't. Jason is super smart. Handyman is not where I'd go on your list of talents.
But
he fixed it.
I fixed that
He
sink.
did, he fixed it. And it doesn't leak now. So
Which
that's great.
means that in fact, I am
Well,
a handyman.
well,
Quite handy.
you did one thing, and I'm very happy about it.
I built a shed.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that damn shed. We
built it with my own hands.
We built the shed, and I built it under duress. So bad.
It was awesome. And now you have a shed.
We didn't paint the shed. We just got it
Stained.
Looks really nice though.
That was a programming joke.
Oh, that's funny. I did. Sorry. I haven't had my coffee yet, per usual.
It's right. You were literally looking at a full cup of coffee over here.
I know, I'm looking at it from far away. Funny joke, Chris. Funny joke. Oh, there's a spoon in there. Oh my gosh.
Here.
I think my brain
Drink your coffee.
atrophied overnight or something, just from doing.
You are-
I did nothing yesterday.
You are really old now.
You're older than me. I feel really
Okay.
old. I swept the basement last night so that I could put up my pottery wheel today, and I actually had back problems from it, which was pretty embarrassing. What's wrong? Where's the whisk you burned?
Well, this is the one that I burned. But I
Where's
don't
the other
like
one?
it anymore. I melted the
Did
handle
you just
of this
say you
whisk.
don't like it anymore now that you've burned it?
Yeah.
Do you see why I don't let him touch my baking stuff? Do you see? Do you see what happens? He burned it. He burned the handle and
Listen.
melted it. No, I don't want to listen. I'm done listening. Listening is over.
I thought that it was a heat-resistant cooking utensil.
No, why? Why
Why?
would you
It's a
think
thing
that?
that goes on the stove. Why wouldn't they make it heat-resistant?
Why would you? Oh my god.
Okay,
Just
so
because you can use it on the stove, like use it as a utensil with something heating up, doesn't mean it's going to be heat resistant.
listen.
Here's a thing you should do. Don't assume things are heat resistant. Assume they'll light on fire.
Look how sad it is. It's got this like weird blister, but it's sticky now too, which like I think the plastic came apart.
Oh God.
Yeah,
ew,
I hate
gross.
it. I kind of want to throw it away. It's
We
not,
could put tape on it.
we just get a new one.
Jason.
Look.
No.
It's gross.
No, you need
It
to
looks
use
like
it
it's-
because
it's
this will
like a-
help you learn.
I don't want to learn. I just want it to be not terrible.
It is
Okay,
gross.
so we've got all the ingredients in a dry bowl.
Shouldn't touch it, honestly. That can't be helped.
Yeah, throw it away.
Shut up.
It's probably unsafe.
You need another whisk, by the way.
Yes, I think it's in the dishwasher.
Good thing we got a backup.
Good thing we have a extra whisk. Good thing I did all those dishes. So yesterday, I thought that for Marissa's birthday, it would be very nice to make her a cake.
It was very nice. Okay, but like some backstory. This is, so my friend Leslie made this cake. I don't know if you watch Learn with Jason, she was on a couple weeks ago. Leslie Wara, you should follow her, she's super fun. But anyway, she made this amazing cake for my birthday last year. A yellow cake with, you want the butter? A yellow cake with chocolate frosting, like super simple. But it was amazing, and it's probably the best cake I've ever had in my life. And I was very sad that I wouldn't get it this year.
And I thought, how hard can cake be?
Yeah,
Turns out,
hard.
it's really hard. So I made the worst cake.
Well, I come downstairs, like I slept in, which is very sweet, and came downstairs to just bowls everywhere, and Jason looking vaguely lost, and is holding his phone, and I'm like, are you trying to bake me a cake? And he's like, yes, and I said, do you want help? And he's like, I don't want to make you bake your own cake. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know that you'll be able to do this. So anyway, I helped a little. He baked
Are you
the
sure
cake.
you want to take credit for this?
So
If you would like to see the cake,
it was not a good
I
cake.
took a photo of it. It's on Twitter. It is atrocious.
No, you know, I want to tell the story so that when I bake your cake and it looks phenomenal, just throw shade.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Come on, butter. Get up. Oh, the handle bent or something.
What?
Our pastry cutter. See how?
No, I don't. It's covered in flour. What's wrong?
Look how big the gap is in the middle.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You here, hold on.
I think we might need a new one of these too.
happened?
I don't-
You pressed
Did
it.
one of them break?
Oh god. Oh god, yes.
Is it in there?
I don't know.
No, it's just bent.
Is it?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. All right. We'll replace that with something.
Or there's metal in our food.
Well, I'm
This
sure
is
we'll
bad.
find the metal when we need, or when we bite into it.
Good. Oh good.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to go.
I don't have the recipe book, so I can't help you.
Well, I'm trying to get this to that like crumbly
Oh, that's
consistency,
great.
which is taking a little longer because our pastry cutter is not.
Well, you meant it.
I don't know if it was me, but yeah, it was probably me, but I don't know how to make
Rock
this
it.
go. Well, when you rock it, you've got the big gap in the middle. I'm trying to use the edges where the
Oh, I get
pastry
it.
cutter is
Oh boy.
in the right shape.
This is gonna be fun.
It's gonna work. It's gonna be great.
Like I said, we didn't plan very well today.
We got this. It's under control. Okay. So I
It was
saw
under control.
Chance is in there. Is he yelling at me yet?
No, he's not. Oh yes, he is. Can we rename the series Bicker and Banter with Jason and Marissa? That's pretty much our life. Jason and I are both extremely opinionated people, and we both actually enjoy arguing, so.
The primary difference is that I am usually correct.
And
Whereas Marissa just likes to yell and hear her voice.
I let him think that, and it works.
That's our relationship dynamic.
Yep. Relationship advice. If you're looking for for like pebbles.
I think this is as good as I'm gonna get it right now.
There's butter on the outside too. Just so you know. I think you're gonna have to use that. You want a spoon? Oh, I'm sorry.
I got it. Just watch that sharp.
Oh, that's the sharp one.
Yeah, I know. It's literally why I said watch out. It's sharp.
Okay. Well, there.
Okay. I think that's good. Then.
Let me see if I can bend this back.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. I am going to measure out the buttermilk and pour it into the bowl. Should have measured this out ahead of time.
Need help?
No, I got it. It's 1 cup. I got this one. This will be fine. We've already
That's
half cup.
yeah, okay. Just making sure you know.
Okay.
Oh, it bends back, which is sort of concerning.
Now, I have 5 minutes using a regular silverware spoon. Get out of my face! Oh God, we're on the clock. I forgot how stressful this part is.
5-minute mark.
Oh shit. Okay.
You're gonna have to turn it out. Remember?
Yeah, we are.
What are you just gonna be sassy with me?
Okay, you get that ready, please.
Get what ready?
Flour the surface so I can turn it out.
Calm down.
No, you got 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Chance is gonna judge me.
He's already judging you.
Damn it.
4 minutes.
Okay, so this is just coming together. So it's, barely coming together. It kind of actually doesn't look like it's coming
Get the
together
bottom.
at all.
Get
But
the bottom.
I'm getting the bottom. It's got. The bottom is got. I done got it.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm gonna turn this out.
Yep. And this is where we fold, right?
This is where we
This
fold.
is where Chance yells at us.
This is where Chance yells at us. That is correct. Okay, so I have my
Yep.
dough.
Yep. Scoop.
I'm
Scoop and swoop.
scooping and swooping.
Scooping and swooping.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. You can.
Just put it in the pile over here the way he needs.
Oh God. You're doing great. No judging. Oh, that's in all caps though, because he's yelling at me.
He's yelling his encouragement. It's okay. It's all right. We're doing fine. All right. So I'm gonna
I got
pat
3
this.
minutes.
Good. So I am patting this out.
Good, he says, without clearing. We have to clear this off. Oh no.
Well, you should be making yourself useful instead of standing over there making commentary.
I think my commentary is quite useful.
Is it?
Yes, I do.
Is
I
there
do.
anybody-
That's my opinion, is that my
anybody-
commentary is quite useful. People have said that they show up for the banter. So, vis-a-vis,
Ergo,
do
vis-a-vis.
you need more flour?
I don't know. No, I think I'm okay. I think I'm fine.
I don't know.
All right, so I think I'm gonna go with this. And I've got my dough scraper. So I'm gonna do one more fold. No pressure, but maybe go faster. Okay, he's yelling at me. All right, I'm going to just cut these
That
up
looks good. That looks good.
like this.
Dude, is that oven at the right
I
temperature?
certainly
I
hope so.
told you to. Oh, I told you to preheat it.
Well, we're gonna find out now how
Told
this
you.
goes. Let me do some square biscuits. All right, take these over
Do
here.
you want to make a?
Yeah, take those bits, make them into another thing, and then I'm gonna cut these in half. We're gonna get little biscuits.
Little biscuits?
These are gonna be so good. These are gonna be like little baby sandwiches, though. That'll be alright. That'll actually kind of be nice. Okay.
Cut that one in twain.
In twain. Okay, it's cut in twain.
That's not preheated, so.
You don't think that's preheated?
I mean, did you get it?
Shit,
I
I don't
told
know.
you to preheat it.
Did the oven beep, chat? By the way, oh, put the tray in the fridge. Put the tray in the fridge.
Dude, there's no room in the fucking fridge.
We're gonna make it work. Oh God. Just put it right up top. Move the. Here, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll make this
Oh my
work.
God.
Oh God.
Just a minute.
Biscuit disaster.
The chat is very funny. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just standing here. I can't move anything.
Just
'cause I've
hold.
got
Just
one hand.
hold still. Okay.
I am holding still.
Not like this. Okay. Put that over here. And
You
then
gotta
I'll
wash
take
your
this
hands again.
and nothing up my sleeve.
All right.
We have done it.
Good job. Good idea. Nice trick. Tip. Chance. Thank you. What would we do without you? Panic is
Make
what
bad
we would
biscuits is what we would do. I feel like I cut those too big, too small. They're gonna be like
Well,
little.
you've done what you've done.
I've done what I've done.
You probably should have cut them a little bigger though.
It's okay.
More biscuits for later. Oh good, we're now a comedy show.
I don't know that we were ever not a comedy show.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, so while we wait for the oven to get warm, let's clear this space off. This combination like cutting board with a food hole. I don't know. It's really. I don't know what it should actually be called.
Oh my god. That made me snort. Good job.
The food hole.
Don't call
and
it
the
that.
bench scraper.
Stop calling it that.
What? Hey, there we go. All right. So we were like 2 minutes off on this. We honestly, what it was is we just prepped too fast. We just.
I told him to start the oven before we turned the thing on. Guess who he listened to? Not
Listen
me.
to myself. And you know what?
No, I don't want to know what. I'm done knowing what.
Okay, so
Watch
we're gonna.
watch your butt.
I'm not moving.
Watch your butt.
I'm not
Okay,
moving.
well. Oh, shit.
4 to 6 times I did that. 20 minutes.
Does the rack placement matter?
Not enough to worry about it, I don't think.
Well,
We've come this
find
far.
out. 20?
20.
What did Chance say? Chance said something.
He said he forgot to preheat the oven last time he did this.
Oh.
Okay, so this is mostly clean, and now all the flour's out of the way so that when we go to wipe this down, it doesn't turn into a little mini floury dough ball, which is a huge pain when you're cleaning. So, highly recommend. I think this is Booze Block, which I didn't know anything about Booze Block.
Booze.
We were at a kitchen store and I wanted a big, like butcher block kind of cutting board, and I found this one and I brought it home. And then Michael Chantastic on Twitter, sent a comment that was like, "Damn, you got a Booze Block!" And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. Turns out it's a thing.
He just got it because it was the biggest one they had.
That's literally what happened. Okay, so let's do a wipe down on this, and then we'll start prepping out sandwich stuff while we wait. Sandwich stuff.
How's everybody's weekend so far? Anything fun happening? It's been rainy here, so I've been cleaning, which has not been particularly interesting.
Chris, what did you order for breakfast? Before we went live, he was like, "I'm gonna order something so that Jason and Marisa don't make me hungry."
Yeah.
Which, honestly, smart. Oh, he ordered biscuits. Awesome.
Oh, love it.
Okay, so I want a tomato.
It is the weekend. Today is Sunday, May 17th.
So I'm gonna do a tomato.
Tomato?
A tomato. I'm gonna do some caramelized onions.
Do you want to put some scapes in there?
In the sandwich? No, but I can do them on the side if you want.
How are you doing the egg?
What do you mean, how am I doing the egg?
Oh, you do it over easy. That's right. Sorry.
Actually, you know what? Because these biscuits are so small, it might make sense to scramble the eggs.
Biscuits.
It might be easier to eat. Biscuits!
Thank you. I don't care. I just was thinking we had scapes.
Yeah, grab those.
They're different. Scapes. I think these are flour and garlic. I believe. If I'm wrong, someone tell me. They're delicious. It's like the flower bud of garlic. It's the 75th of May. I understand that completely.
Okay.
I too feel this.
What else we got in here that'll be good on a sandwich? I've got.
Sandwich.
I need lettuce.
Didn't remember we had that. Good job, House.
What else? What else we got in here? I think that's.
There's some herbs if you want the herbs.
I don't think the herbs will be good on there.
Alright.
that's it. So, what we're gonna do then is we're
Ooh,
gonna
those are looking good.
look at them pop, pop, pop. Okay. So then.
I didn't dry that off. Is that okay?
Didn't dry what off?
The board.
It's fine. Actually, it's a little soapy.
See?
It's a little soapy. I don't care if you dried it off. I do care if you left soap on it.
Honestly.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
Jason?
What? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take half of this onion. We'll keep the other half for later. And then
Put that in the fridge, right?
yeah. And then we will take.
It's weird how we always have a half an onion.
We
Like literally
always
we
have a
always
half.
have a half an onion.
And then
Luckily we've started to realize this about ourselves. So before we get another onion or lament about our lack of onion,
check the fridge.
we check the fridge because there's always a half an onion in there.
Okay, so then.
It's like a magic trick. Do you want any mushrooms?
No,
Okay.
because this is all going on the sandwich. Like, if you want to do something on the side, we definitely can.
Well, we'll do mushrooms tonight. Have to figure out what to eat anyway.
I just found some chicken breasts that we need to eat.
You found it?
Well, they're in the
You
bottom.
foraged for it?
They're in the bottom of a drawer that we haven't opened for a
The
while.
bottom.
The bottom.
The bottom of
I don't know
the
why I
drawer.
picked up that accent
I
just
don't
now.
know. It's weird. We should do the chicken breasts.
We got this. The grocery store near us has. It has like pre-made curries, so you just can get like a tub of Penang curry or something, and then you
Can I
effectively make it by. Do you want to preheat that skillet for me, please?
You want anything in it?
I think let's start with the bacon, and then we'll use the bacon grease to cook everything else.
Put it at 4.
That's probably
Dang
good.
it. You know what we should have bought today?
Hmm.
Those stupid lights for the
Oh,
oven hood.
our oven hood lights went out, and we don't know how to get the light bulbs out. And we don't know.
Jason got this one out by accident.
Well, that one fell on me, which is different than me knowing how to get it out.
I hate this oven. And now the other one's gone out and you can't, it's like precariously
I can't.
perched in there and we don't know how to get it out. So maybe I shouldn't buy it because I don't know what we would do once we get it.
Okay.
Oh, you couldn't get it back in, so
So here's
push in and twist.
pushing in. Yeah, so that's what I thought, but I can't do it. So I don't know if I just like don't have the touch, or if it's stuck, or if I'm fundamentally misunderstanding how that. Yeah, like it moves a little bit, but it's like jammed in there. I don't know. I'm very concerned that I'm gonna have to take apart that hood to figure out how to change the light bulb, which is not.
That's not happening. You're not doing that. That's nasty in there.
I
You
know,
don't wanna
it's
do
gonna be
that.
terrible. We're gonna have to clean it.
There's if it comes to that,
What, we burn the house down and
Yeah,
move
just
away?
I'm not doing that shit.
Okay, so I've got
Bacon.
fresh bacon from Providor here locally. I'm gonna actually cut these in half because I want to use them in the sandwiches, and the sandwiches are pretty small. So
I would cut them in thirds.
no, they're gonna shrink up a little bit.
Oh, you're right.
And I'm just gonna cook all of it. We'll have extra bacon on the side of our. I've never been sad about having too much bacon. All right, so let's cook these.
What else can I do?
Do you want to wash some of that romaine?
No.
I mean, you can
Lame.
also
Lame. How much?
enough for what 3-ish sandwiches, I would say. You
That
want
is
one
not a
sandwich or two?
number. One.
So I would do like 4 leaves. We'll use it.
We do not want to dismantle that oven hood. It would go so poorly. I think that light is jammed in there though,
Yeah.
which is a real bummer. The lighting in here is not great.
No, we have to bring in actual like stage lighting to be visible in here. We get good daylight, but it's not.
Well, and today it's not sunny, so.
Yeah, it's like our daylight is not great, so we've got the light over here. Yeah, so I think the LED underlighting would work. I wouldn't put it over the stove though, because I'm worried that worried it would get damaged by the heat. But honestly, we've been holding off on a whole bunch of this stuff. Hey, thank you for the sub, Mika. I appreciate that. I've been holding off on doing anything with this because our honest intention is to move to an induction stove cooktop here, and then we'll probably turn this into a double oven instead. Just a matter of like when we'll actually get to that. Oh, those biscuits look amazing. Okay, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just slap you in the face?
Slap me with lettuce.
Sorry.
Getting lettuce slapped.
Lettuce slap.
Okay.
Pop, pop.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
What?
No, nothing. It's all going great. Let's get this out of here. And then I'm gonna do nice thin slices of tomato because I love tomato, but I don't like it when the tomato is like a kind of a squishy mess on a sandwich. So I want thin slices so I get the tomato flavor without the really kind of like, I just don't want a juicy tomato on a sandwich because it takes over everything. It'll make the bread soggy and it just, it's just not what I'm after.
Sizzling bacon is such a nice sound.
It really is. I feel like
It reminds me of my grandma's house.
I feel like you could put sizzling bacon on a screensaver like people do with fireplaces.
The fireplaces, yeah.
It's like a Yule log.
Yeah. It's just such a comforting sound. Like, good things always happen when you hear that sound.
And you're jaunting. Okay. So with the bacon, because we are going to put this into a sandwich, I want it to be pretty crisp. Like not burnt by any means, but I want it to be, I don't want it to have that when bacon is cooked real soft and you have to kind of like bite and tear? I don't want that. I want it to almost be like crumbly to where when you bite it, it comes right apart with the bite.
Okay, I've done the romaine.
Excellent. So now,
Escapes? Are you going to use escapes or not use escapes?
so
You're upset about escapes.
well, I have a philosophical question here. So scapes are
I have an answer.
like young garlic,
Correct.
right?
Maybe. I don't know.
They taste like young. I'm almost positive that they're young garlic, but they taste like garlic either way. So if we cut them
Either
up,
young or old garlic.
well, no, because I think this is the bulk, right? So I think this eventually will become a bowl of garlic. I could 100% be making
I
that
know.
up.
I think you. I don't know.
Am I? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who's interested in this and wants to Google it?
I
to tell
looked
me
it
if I'm
up, and
making
all I
this?
know is the flower bud.
Is this the garlic though, or like is
I don't
garlic
know,
like
I don't
under
know.
the ground?
I would believe
Is
both.
garlic a root?
No, I think you might be right.
Anyways, because these are really garlicky, what I think we should do is let's take 2 of them and let's do scrambled eggs because the biscuits are going to be too small
Yeah.
for a full egg, which is that's not the way I would normally do it. Usually, what I want to do is I want to.
So this is the flower of the garlic.
Okay, maybe.
I looked that up.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want, like on a bigger biscuit, what I would have done is put a fried egg, like sunny side up, but basted with the bacon grease, which I've done that a few times on the show, I think. But anyways, it's basically a sunny side up egg, but by basting it with the grease, you make sure that it cooks all the way through on top, which
Yeah, but you
makes-
haven't shown the scrambled eggs yet, so that'll be fun.
Well, the very first one of these that we did, I did scrambled eggs. Remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, we'll do scrambled eggs here. But so the challenge of that is that I'm not going to get the like egg yolk as a condiment that I usually like on a breakfast sandwich. So that part notwithstanding, I think these will still be really good. But I might need a little extra like mayonnaise or something to make up for the lack of egg.
So I don't know if all of you remember that I actually asked a question. What would you like me to do? You want me to cut these up?
I don't know, follow your heart.
Alright, I'm cutting them up.
Do like really.
Oh, now you have opinions.
Well, we're gonna put them into the scrambled eggs, right? So we want them to be like
I'm
thin.
following my heart.
Okay, well, how would your heart put these into scrambled eggs?
Big old chunks.
Okay, you do you.
What do you mean?
You just,
I don't know. Sorry.
it's fine. Okay, so that's getting close. We've got 6 minutes.
How do you feel about this in your heart? Too big? Too big. Good
Too
enough.
big. So what I would do is well, just let me show you. I'll show you the size and then if you want to match
Who's
it.
helping?
So if you just go really thin, like really, really thin like that, that should be perfect. And we probably won't need a lot because we're only doing like 3 eggs.
Can you close this cupboard?
Oh, okay. I went, before you started yelling at me, I was over here for a reason.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I want the bacon to crisp up, so I'm going to put it on a paper towel. Usually I wouldn't do that because I kind of like the grease. But so we're going for, oh yeah, that's done. Let's get it in here.
These are not going to be thin enough. Sorry. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and it's not good enough.
It's going to be great. Just believe in yourself.
I'm trying. I'm not the best. I don't have the best knife skills. Even after that class, they're still not great. I'm very slow and not very consistent. It's a real problem. Well, those are a little better, I guess.
So what's up, chat? What did y'all make for breakfast today?
Chris apparently has biscuits.
Chris has
although
biscuits.
Not yet.
Well, biscuits en route.
Is that enough?
The internet. The top part of the plan.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Oh, we ate them already.
Watch the knife. These maybe like
More.
half again, that much. Okay. So the other thing that I want to do is I want to, like with these, I pretty much want these to reduce down to borderline nothing, right? They're just going to be, Chris wins. But what I'm looking for with these is I basically want these to be like kind of a flavor bed. They're not going to have a lot of texture. What are you looking for?
Just looking at the biscuits.
They look really good.
That light is worthless.
That's so bad. Okay.
Do you want garlic?
Yeah. But don't do too much. Do like 2 cloves.
Minced or
Yeah.
2 cloves? I think you should do 1
Okay.
with the garlic that we already have.
Alright, so the bacon is just about done. So while I'm waiting on the bacon to finish, I'm going to also throw in the onions, and I'll just pull the bacon out from under the onions. Let's just get these over here. Where's my scraper go?
I don't know.
Did you move it?
I didn't touch it. and then I don't touch them. And
Yeah. You're so put upon.
I am. It's good that you see that now. Maybe you'll change your behavior.
So we've got good little crispy bacon bites in here. These are going to be really, really good. I'm going to let these sit aside for a minute. We'll get the onions cooking in this grease, which is going to be just delicious. And then once the onions get close, I'll throw the garlic in just to sweat it a bit, and then pull it out. And then we'll cook the eggs. I'll probably dump some of the grease off before I do the eggs, because otherwise that'll be a lot. Okay, that is some grade A bacon there. Real happy about that. Now we've got the onions. The onions are going to release a lot of their own liquid, and then they're going to kind of reduce down. They'll end up being a really delicious kind of concentrated flavor pile. I don't know. They lose all their texture, so they're not really like
flavor pile.
Yeah, well, because if you cook them just a minute, like if I pulled them out now, they'd still have some texture. They'd still like snap a little bit when you crunch them, which would be really good. Nikki, we've got Chance's biscuits, which are about to come out. They're about 10 seconds, sorry, from coming out of the oven.
I was going to say, that's going to be real bad.
And then we're doing bacon and egg sandwiches with those. So I just pulled some bacon off. We're doing onions now. We're basically just cooking those down. And then, we're gonna do some scrambled eggs with scapes, which is a little counter to what I was initially planning. I was gonna do the eggs.
You're gonna grab that trivet and then you can put it over there.
Look, these just bomb-ass biscuits. They look so good. They have amazing layers. Chance, this is such a good recipe.
Yeah, look at them boys. Fluffy boys.
All right. So what I'm actually gonna do, if you don't mind grabbing me a rack, is I'll just move them to a rack real quick.
Did you put that on a trivet?
For like half a second, I had to put it down, so you have to please go faster.
There you
It's
go.
really
Got it?
warm. Yeah, it's just
You
this.
need help or should I leave? I'm leaving. Yeah, we do them in squares so you get more crispy edges.
And also because I don't have a round biscuit cutter, so
Oh yeah, that
I
too.
kind of make do with what I've got. I'm just gonna put this back in here. Deal with that in a bit. Oven is off, so
Good job.
I remembered.
He
Okay,
always
so
forgets to turn the oven off, which is sort of terrifying.
now, these are starting to look really good. Not quite reducing the way that I want them to yet, so we're gonna give them a little more time. And we've got the burners on like medium high heat. So we're not going for like burn the house down heat. We're going for hot enough to get the job done, but we're not in a race. While we wait for that,
Oh,
bacon cut.
These are gonna be so tiny.
You want to bite of bacon?
Do I want to bite everything? Can I have a whole bacon? Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
I like them better in the cast iron than on the sheet.
The sheet pan is really finicky,
Yeah.
right? I think this is also a different kind of bacon. Because this is like a standard cured bacon. The last one we got was like an applewood smoked.
I like this bacon. It's peppery.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. I do need an up glove.
What is an elk glove?
It's like a super heat resistant sort of thing.
Mm.
I need one for the grill too.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. So We have this thing that we
Nothing?
Marisa carries around a towel that she's not using, and then I take it and put it somewhere where we can both reach it, and then she'll take it and seal it again, and then I'll have to take it off of her. I'm not even
We
kidding.
have a drawer full of towels.
You yell at me when I take extra ones out.
That is not true. You leave them. He leaves them in places I can't reach. You left it the last time.
Why you gotta bring up old shit?
What? What did you say?
I said, why you gotta bring up old shit?
It happened yesterday. It's not old. You want me to bring up old shit? Because I can. No? Okay.
Okay, so we are going to. These are pretty much done. So I'm gonna grab a bowl for them. Oh, I need to get the garlic in. The garlic.
It
So
is.
we'll get-
It is true, Chris. I do that. But, you know, we all can't be perfect.
Except me.
You're definitely not perfect. I live with you, I know.
Okay, so we're gonna get this garlic in here just long enough to get warm. We don't want it to brown. We don't want it to burn. We just want it to get hot enough to start releasing that delicious garlic flavor. Which
An
takes.
interesting thing I learned about garlic is that if you heat it, or if you put it on too high of heat, it goes bitter. What do you mean?
Will you grab me a bowl real quick, please?
A bowl?
Yeah.
Any bowl? Like,
Something that I can put these onions in.
is this enough? Big enough?
Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, so these are pretty much done, so I'm going to kill the heat. And then I'm going to pull these over. And I'm using a spatula with a slot in it so that I don't get all this grease out. I want the grease to drain. Because the grease is good for cooking, but it'll make the sandwich would be too oily. It'll make you feel sick to your stomach if you put all the grease in. I know that because I tried it once thinking like, oh, if a little bit of bacon grease is good, then all of the bacon grease is clearly superior. I was
That tracks so well with your personality.
sorely mistaken. Okay.
If a little bit of it is good, a lot of it'll be better. Oh
So
no,
let's-
what have I done?
What have I done? Alright, so let's get all of this off to the side, all of these little bits. And I'm going to attempt to remove these so that I can continue cooking without damaging or without like burning more garlic. So what I'm after here, this is going so poorly.
What are you doing? You need help?
I was trying to get these chunks out, but it's not working.
Do you need me to hold it while you
No, it's
scrape
fine.
it?
It's fine. So what I think I'm gonna do from here, I'm not gonna use any butter because I have enough bacon grease. Let me see. That's a little too much grease, so let me put some into the jar.
Do you need my help?
Right now, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna feed my starter then.
You're gonna, okay.
Well, I'm thinking about it and things are already messy, so I figure it's a good idea.
Okay, so we're gonna leave about, I want like a little over a tablespoon of grease in this pan. And then we'll get the grease bucket out of the way. Alright. And so next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my eggs. I've got 3 eggs here. And so I'm going to just crack these in here.
I think next week we're gonna try focaccia, so I'm feeding the starter so I get some leftover sourdough starter, which is what we'll use on the focaccia.
Yeah, that should be really good. Okay, so we got that. I need to wash my hands. Where did that whisk go? Okay. Okay. Here is that sourdough starter smells so funky.
I know. So you have to
It's just got like a
yeah, you have to discard part of it and You keep the discard and then you can cook with it, but you have to discard 80% of it. So I'm just creating a stockpile of extra starter to use.
And while she's doing that, I've got 3 eggs in a bowl that is a little too small, so I'm going a little gently. And I'm just trying to whip, not like whip, but I want these eggs to be uniform. So I'm using a whisk, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can't tell the difference between the yolks and the whites anymore. I want them to be like just a general uniform color. And I'm not going for perfection or anything, but you can kind of see like this, I hope this is visible. It's not going to be visible at all. So you can kind of see like the yolks and the whites are combined here. You can't really see a separation between. I don't want to go further. I don't want to get enough air into these that they start to like actually whip or anything. I just want them to be completely combined. And then I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. And a little bit of salt.
Oh, come on.
Give it a quick whisk to combine. Yeah, this bowl size was a poor choice. I shouldn't have done that. Then, this is looking hot enough. We're going to pour this right on in, right into the bacon grease. Okay. So this is warm. And so the way that I like to do scrambled eggs is I actually just pull out chopsticks and I pull, like keep them separate and just pull things around because this is going to cook so fast. These are basically done. So that is a really fast scrambled egg. This pan is a little too hot. But they're good, they're done. And so now we've got scrambled eggs. That cooked so fast that I couldn't even put the escapes in.
Just put them in it, man.
Yeah. You want them in like fresh?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. Can
I help you?
Yeah, I need a bowl. These are cooking so fast that I'm worried they're gonna burn actually. Just... Okay. Okay. So what I ended up with here is a very quickly cooked scrambled egg, but they come out really nice and light and fluffy, and that bacon grease gives them such a nice flavor. Like these are really, really good.
If you put the escapes in, they might cook just kind of being in it.
Ooh, you know what?
No.
I'm just gonna throw these in the pan for a hot second because
Oh,
there's
that's a
still
good idea.
still a bit of grease left in here. I'm gonna give these like the fastest pan like heat. I mostly just want these to warm through. I'm not even worried about them cooking because they are really good fresh. I just we're already putting enough cold stuff on the sandwich that I don't want to add more.
I always forget that the laptop is on the trash can.
Yeah, and then you go looking for the.
Yeah.
We're really due for an upgrade here on like our production gear. I went to go start putting it together and I got so overwhelmed by choice because I want to get lavalier mics so that we are actually mic'd up and they need to be wireless because we're running all over the kitchen. But I don't know anything about them and I don't know how to hook them into a computer, so I was like, oh, okay, so what do I need to know about that? And then the next thing I knew, I was researching like tripods. This is going so poorly for me. So I think what I've decided is I'm going to talk to someone who is an expert, and I'm going to pay them to give me a shopping list, so that I don't have to, you know, I don't necessarily need to be an AV expert. Like I find this stuff really fun. I find it really interesting. However, it's complicated enough that it kind of keeps me from getting other things done. And rather than just halt progress, I would like to be able to just make it go away. So I'm going to, instead of solving this problem with time, I'm going to solve it with money.
If you're interested in what a sourdough starter looks like, here you go. It's kind of gross and loopy.
Okay.
But there you go.
So we're ready. We are at sandwich time. So let's get our sandwiches ready. So let's get these beautiful biscuits over here. And I'm going to get these out of the way. Let's clean this up a little bit. Perfect. Okay. And now the way that you know it's a good biscuit is we can just pull this thing right apart, just beautifully. Oh, gorgeous. All right. So I'm going to pull these in half. Good. Then I'm going to do a, so these are the buttons. I did my setup right, got my bases toward me, tops away. I'm going to do a little smattering of these onions on the bottom of each one. All right, so this is my base layer. This is like the flavor equivalent of like a bass guitar, right? It's just gonna keep things moving. I don't know where that metaphor is going. I'm gonna let it go. So then I'm gonna get some lettuce, and I want enough lettuce to crunch, but not so much that it takes over the whole dish. So I'm gonna put this here. Okay, that's too much.
Yeah, you probably have way more lettuce than you actually need.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of lettuce. But that's perfect. We'll use it for something. Okay, so there's our lettuce. Then I'm gonna grab bacon, and we're gonna use. There were some crispy ones down at the bottom. Those are the ones that I want on the sandwich. Yeah, those are gonna be beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna swap the order here because usually I have sausage patties.
Yeah.
And you need something to soak up the grease, but because we've got the crispy bacon, I'm gonna put that right on the onions. We're gonna do 2 pieces of bacon per sandwich. And because I cut the pieces in half, that's actually 4 bits. So let's get.
Do you need more of this?
No. Just eat those.
You get a cheese grater?
I was actually just gonna slice it if you wanna do little thin slices of cheese. Would you prefer grated? You can do it however you want.
I think you should do this.
Okay. So you want the little one?
Yeah.
Explain your reasoning.
Because the sandwiches are really small, and I think that the cheese will melt better if they're tiny little shreddings.
Okay. No, I'm not even sure I can refute that. I get your.
Why would you refute it?
Because I don't want to do that, but I'm having trouble articulating why.
Because it's not the way you normally do it?
No. Kind of. I don't know why I don't like that. Something about that doesn't jive with me. I'm not liking the way that the lettuce is working right now, so I'm gonna try yet another technique here. I'm gonna do what Marisa said. And we've got some New York white cheddar. This is a good sharp cheddar, so we don't need a lot of it because the flavor will hold up. And I'm just gonna make a little pile on top of each one. And this looks like more than it is because when you grate this fine, it.
If that's mine, that's like way too much. So that.
Okay, that one won't be yours then.
Stop.
Okay. The mess is one way to articulate why I didn't want to do it this way.
Could have done it in a bowl.
Could have I feel like I had a comeback stirring. It just died on the vine. Okay. So those look good. So next, we will take our thin
Also could have put it in the cheese.
tomato bits, thin tomato bits, thin tomato bits. These are going to be too big. I needed bigger biscuits.
It's okay.
It's going to be,
Don't
this is going to
panic.
be
Don't
a
panic.
messy,
Stay calm.
messy sandwich. Let's
They're
get
always
bowls.
messy.
Let's get bowls and I'll plate these on the sandwich.
What did you eat? Did you see that whole thing of bacon?
Sorry, I meant plates. You didn't need to go to plates. There's a cup over there.
What?
Right there.
Here. I got it.
Okay, so the issue that I'm running into is that I don't have the horizontal space to cover the amount of toppings that I want to get on here. So what we're running into is that the eggs.
It's okay.
I'm just kind of having trouble thinking through my ordering here because I feel like the eggs.
You could also do an open-faced one. Put the
Could
eggs
also
on the
do an
side.
open-faced one. Do you want to just do the eggs on the side? I feel like what I want is for the egg. Well, when the egg is sunny side up, you put it on
I know,
top
but
and then you just puncture it.
You
and
don't
then
have enough surface area for any of this.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, so let's do the eggs on the side this time, and we will just top these off. So we're gonna do a little dollop of mayo on each of these.
Normally we use like potato buns, or what are the other buns you use?
You've got those brioche, like those brioche rolls that you make,
Yeah,
or what are those? The like those fluffy dinner rolls.
the fluffy dinner rolls, yeah.
Yeah. So those.
So
are,
anyway, they're bigger, so they're a little bit more,
you can get away with stacking them a little bit higher.
yeah.
But
And
this will still be really good.
I also think the biscuit is a different texture, so, which isn't bad, it's just harder to moosh it all together, you know what I mean?
No, I mean. I do know what you mean. Alright, so we're gonna get this on here. Put this topper on there. Alright, now let's look.
Yeah, probably.
Let's look at these beautiful
So do you want-
sandwiches.
Do you want eggs?
So this is gonna be a mess to eat, but it is a really nice, like not quite caramelized, but like sautéed onions, bacon, cheddar cheese, tomato, and romaine on a scratch-made buttermilk biscuit recipe courtesy of Chance the Dev. This is gonna be. I gotta take a bite of this. Let's just see how this goes. This is gonna be. It's gonna be a messy one. Here we go. Oh. Mmm.
Good though?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep.
Any boobs?
Yeah, it's got all the things that I wanted. The only thing that's missing is I want that egg yolk because I feel
Yeah.
like egg yolk on a breakfast sandwich makes such a big difference. So, notes for the next time that we do these, I'm going to cut the biscuits probably potentially like twice as big.
Do you prefer
like-
the biscuit to the other?
We'll take a bite.
No, I don't like doing that on camera, it's weird.
It's not weird.
It's weird
That's like
for
the
me.
whole point of.
You know what? I
Okay.
can have my own
Alright.
boundaries.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, the biscuit adds like a good crunch. It's got all the things I like about toast with that butteriness. So it's like got a crunchy bit, and then that flakiness, and then you've got the flavor base of the onions, the crunchiness of the bacon, the cheese, the creaminess of the mayo. It is really, really good. So I think bigger biscuits. I will do, bigger biscuits. The same general makeup, but then we'll put the egg on top of the bacon with the tomato and lettuce on top of that. So the egg yolk will kind of run into the middle of the sandwich as a condiment.
Do
and
you
that'll be
like
really
the
good.
bacon better than the sausage patty?
So what I like better about the bacon is the structure. The sausage patties are delicious,
Yeah.
but they tend to make the sandwiches like explode outward.
Yeah,
So the bacon's really nice because it keeps things compact.
yeah.
and the crispiness, like the crunchiness of the bacon
Yeah,
is
I get
really,
that.
really nice. But the sausage patty is really good too. I think if we did them really thin
Yeah.
and we caramelized them, like really hot skillet,
Yeah.
I would be really on
We
board
should
with
try
that.
that because
Mhm.
the ones with the sausage are really good. So
Yeah, and that sausage is really easy. You just get ground pork, and then you put your own salt and pepper, a little bit of maple syrup, or whatever you want to put into it. But
Arugula? Oh,
So-
get out.
arugula is one of those
Oh,
things
I
that
haven't. Mm.
I am
Mm-mm.
on board with, kind of.
I
But
have a lot of opinions about arugula.
I like arugula when it's in something that is mostly a different kind of green. Like, I like it when you have a mostly green salad with like a little bit of arugula for the pepperiness. But if it's all peppery, I just can't do it. It's too much. Let's try these eggs. How do they come out?
They're good?
Yeah. So I got the bacon grease ratio right. There's enough of it to be present, but it's not greasy. And the scapes were an excellent call because they add that like fresh garlickiness.
Yeah.
Overall, kind of didn't go the way I expected. I thought we were gonna have this big messy egg yolk sandwich, but I'm still super happy. So I think we're gonna call that a win. Definitely more happy with this than with my sad birthday cake from yesterday. And you know, went better than our pancakes attempt. So, so I think
Shame.
we're all good. And it sounds like next week we're gonna come back
Yeah, we're gonna
on
try
Sunday.
focaccia.
What, 11 a.m.
I don't know.
Pacific,
ish. Yeah.
roughly 11 a.m. Pacific. We're gonna come back and try focaccia from Marisa sourdough starter. So that should be.
Interesting at the least.
We've never done it before, so it could go really well because Marisa's a great baker, or it could look like a birthday cake that I tried to make myself.
Because sometimes bread doesn't do what you think it's gonna do.
Indeed, it does not. With that, thanks for hanging out, chat. We will see you next week.